So this is my video project for my science course I'm taking. Hopefully I'm following the very specific instructions my teacher gave me. Anywho, let me ask you a question. Have you ever cooked pasta before? If you cooked pasta before, you know that you always have to season the water. Seasoning the water doesn't just bring the flavor to pasta. There's also a cool scientific reason why you should add salt to your water. So I made this little lab to help demonstrate what happens when boiling salt water. The objective of this lab is to help you see the increase of boiling temperatures when boiling salt water. For this lab I used a beaker, but you can use anything that's safe with high heat. I used 100 milliliters of water, a thermometer, a hot plate, but you can use a stove, anything that produces heat, salt. I used 5 milliliters. And something to mix it with. I used a glass rod, but you can use a spoon. Anything safe with high heat. First, you'll need to boil the water, like demonstrated, and use a thermometer to measure the boiling temperature. You'll know what the boiling temperature is when the temperature remains the same, no matter how long you leave the water on the heat. This can be considered your control, your base. So when you're observing your salt water, this is what you refer to. Next, you can take the beaker off and you can add the salt. Since it's hot, warm water, the salt will dissolve, but be sure to mix it until it's all dissolved, vigorously if possible. And you can place the salt water back on the heat and you can watch it boil again. And use a thermometer to measure the temperature, and you'll see that the temperature is higher than the regular water's boiling temperature. And you'll know if it's its boiling temperature when the temperature remains the same no matter how long you leave it on the heat. So how does this lab relate to cooking pasta? Well, when cooking pasta, you need to cook the pasta at boiling temperature. We all know when cooking, high heat helps cook the food faster. By adding salt to the water, it increases the boiling temperature. Try the lab for yourself, and if you don't believe me, you can just watch the rest of the video and listen to this explanation. You can see after adding salt to water, the boiling temperature goes up. Why is that? Well, let's go back to the basics, states of matter. There are 3 main states of matter: solids, liquids, and gases. All substances and materials have different melting points, freezing points, and boiling points. Water has a freezing point of 0 degrees Celsius and has a boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius. At these different temperatures can cause kinetic molecular energy, also known as KMT, within the water to increase and decrease how much movement within there, which is known as Ke. Salt is its own substance. It's sodium chloride. It's also a solute. A solute is a solid that can be dissolved when added to a solvent, a liquid. When a solute dissolves in the solvent, all the molecules within the solute remain the same, meaning all its properties are the same. It's just dissolved in a liquid. So when boiling the water, you're not just boiling the water, you're also boiling the salt. And salt has a much higher boiling temperature than water. So obviously the salt water's boiling temperature will be much higher. Hopefully that's a good explanation. I mean, I understood it. Hopefully you did. So this is the end of the video. I hope you learned something today or not. Just remember, next time you're cooking pasta, you are raising the boiling temperature for a higher heat. Thanks for watching. Also, thank you, Miss Lee.